Left the big city for the simple country life. Found myself a woman that it took for me to be my wife. I was working on the ground come the sun up to sundown. Yeah, I'm trying to make a reputation for a man inside this town. Hard as I try, maybe I just can't. I ain't no up and kind of leaving me. She kissed me one time and she took my heart. Baby, you can love me, you can leave me. I'm a honky-tonk star. Yeah, I'm a honky-tonk star. Well, working 3 jobs, living out of a car. Mama never told me life would get this hard. Running around the world playing my guitar. Baby, you can love me, you can leave me. I'm a honky-tonk star. Yeah, I'm a honky-tonk star. I'm a honky-tonk star. Lord, I'm a honky-tonk star. Playing my guitar. Baby, you can love me, you can leave me. I'm a honky-tonk star. Yeah, a honky-tonk star. Yeah, I'm a honky-tonk star.
All right. This is a little bit different of a live stream for me, so not real sure how this is going to go. We may have all sorts of problems and issues. I'm not really set up for this type of streaming, but I thought it'd be fun. I thought, you know, we might as well give it a try. And what we're going to do today is we're going to start constructing a BigCommerce site from the ground up. And we've got, you know, if you happen to be catching some of the content on YouTube, I've also been cross-posting those to LinkedIn, you'll know that we're starting, we're trying to start $1 million drop shipping business from the ground up. And so to kind of give you an idea of where we're at in that process, we've decided to do it. We've released that video. We've kind of talked about, you know, the business model a little bit and what we're trying to do. And we've decided on print on demand drop shipping. We've talked about picking a niche, and we're going to do alcohol-themed merchandise. We're going to start with bourbon-themed merchandise, but we're going to expand that out to alcohol-themed merchandise long-term. And we've also discussed the branding aspects of it, with Bruzel being a brand that I already own, logo already designed. You know, there are some questions as to whether or not Bruzel, brew, you know, meaning beer, the iconography I did, the logo I did really being more beer themed, is the right thing for bourbon content and bourbon related products. But again, we're going to branch out. So the next step is to start building the site. And I figured if I'm going to be building a site, why wouldn't I be building the site and live streaming it and showing you along the way? And so again, this is a little bit of a different setup. You're going to be looking at the side of my head because I'm going to be working on this monitor over here, although I'll be able to share that with you. I've got my chat going over here. We've got Stephanie in the chat. Hello, Stephanie. Thanks for joining me this morning. Morning for me, maybe afternoon for you. And I've also got LinkedIn pulled up here, although I don't see any comments going over there. L-Sky3 saying they're loving this series already. Well, I appreciate it. This is something different. We've got a couple of new series we're working on. One's going to be several months before they start coming out. But this, I'm excited about this too. This is much more practical, hopefully long-term. This provides a lot more advice to folks that are trying to replicate this. And it gives me an opportunity to learn. So I'm not saying I know everything, believe me. You'll see as I'm going through BigCommerce, my skill set in BigCommerce is not, you know, I haven't been spending a lot of time in the admin doing things. I still have to click around 8,000 times find out where stuff is and that kind of thing. So, you know, as I'm learning, I'd love to share it with y'all, and hopefully you can get some lessons from that as well. So I do have the chat over here. So if you see me turn, I'm just looking at the chat to see what's going on. Again, a little different setup, a little ad hoc. It was a little last minute. I just decided yesterday that we would just set up and start talking and building this site out. So the preparations I've done thus far, I did do a little bit ahead of time. I obviously have a logo already designed. I have my color scheme already figured out. I went ahead and registered for a BigCommerce free trial. I ain't even paid for it. I mean, put any credit card or anything in there at this point. It is just a free trial. But I will be activating it on the lowest possible plan. Now, why BigCommerce for this? We've got a video, the video that should be releasing tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. We'll go over my thoughts on the different platforms that I was considering and why I landed on BigCommerce. Long story short, there wasn't a lot of reason why I chose BigCommerce other than more strategic long-term for some things we could do with the site that might benefit the agency as well. So other than the technical building of the site, if you're on Shopify or you're on Magento or any platform in the world really, hopefully a lot of the things we're doing, the thinking that goes behind it is something that, you know, if I explain it in good detail, it's something that you can apply to your own business, and it's not necessarily BigCommerce specific. So hopefully this series continues to be useful for folks, even if they're not on BigCommerce. So let's kind of talk about what we did. Like I said, I've got BigCommerce demo set up. Alexa's trying to talk to me over there now. I don't know why she thinks I said her name, but Alexa, stop. You know, robots. So let's just get right into it, and I'll kind of see if I can get to my share there. Okay, so now you see my desktop. Now this is a wide screen, so it's going to be kind of compressed height-wise on the screen, so we're just going to have to deal with that. I didn't have time to find another monitor that's 1080 so it fills up your entire screen. But you see exactly what I see on my monitor. And this is my BigCommerce site that I have registered for this morning. Brand new. I've set nothing up in it. It says I've got payments configured, but honestly, I don't even have that. And we'll get into all of that. I'm not sure how long we're going to live stream today or what all we're going to get into. I'm hoping to get the theme chosen, get the theme configured, and then we'll just kind of figure out from there. Products are not quite ready yet. We have some designs. I have some designs. The video that'll come out next Tuesday will go over my process for getting designs done. But we're in the process of working with our print-on-demand provider, which again will be gone through on the video tomorrow, to get samples. So I have like a bunch of, I just threw, because we didn't have logos done, I just threw a bunch of eCommerceaholic logos on the samples. So obviously this is not in my size, but we wanted to kind of see some different prints. I wasn't real happy with the colors on these. The colors came out not exactly like I was intending, so we're still kind of, we've ordered another round of samples that shipped out today. We're trying to find what is the right shirt to print on. What's the right products to offer? Do we offer, a large range of colors? Do we offer a limited range of colors? Do we go with a premium shirt? Do we go with a more affordable shirt? Are there women's cuts? There's different cuts, tank tops, hoodies, caps, like what all products do we want to try to offer? And it's a bit overwhelming. But right now we're trying to keep it simple. So we're going to pick, maybe a women's cut, and then maybe 3 different colors, maybe just a dark, a gray, and a white shirt. And then we can get more elaborate with it as we go. What we don't want to do is get bogged down by decisions. We want to make a decision, move forward, because we can always adjust later. Now, ideally, we do a little research and we try to make the right decision the first time, but at the same time, let's not let that slow down the process here and the progress that we're making. So we ordered a bunch of samples, didn't like them. We're ordering a bunch of new samples, and hopefully later this week, once those samples arrive, we'll have the shirts figured out, and then we're going to have to then get blanks and put logos, Photoshop logos on them, because I don't want to order every variation of every shirt we're doing for now. I will order one of every shirt we're doing just to test the colors, but and who knows, we may over time order every variation of every shirt we offer just to get really good photography for the website. So we're not dealing with products today at all. We're just worried about the design and setup of the BigCommerce site, and then we'll kind of move on from there. All right. Chirag says, this channel has been an eye-opener. Well, I appreciate it. If there's anything I can do to help you, just let me know. Again, LinkedIn is kind of quiet over there, but LinkedIn has problems with messages on this. So if I'm missing the messages, I'm definitely getting them over on YouTube. So, all right, so let's start building the site out. Of course, I showed you all these shirts, and I was in the little window in the corner. Again, this is going to be a mess. I'm going to have to keep adjusting my chair as well. This chair, if I tend to lean forward when I'm on a live stream, just kind of into the desk looking at the camera, and sometimes it just like pushes on the shock and it goes down. So it's not a leak, but the way the mechanism works, if you lean forward, sometimes the chair will just lower. So you may see me randomly lower from time to time, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so we've got BigCommerce up over here, and what we want to do, this is the default theme. So let's see, my theme's right here. The current theme is Cornerstone Light, which includes 3 styles. Now this is the default theme that comes with BigCommerce when it is installed. And again, you've got, this is a fine theme. It's fast, it's easy, it's got all the functionality you could possibly want, but it is insanely boring. This header up at the top is ridiculously sized. Like, you lose just a ton of real estate up here at the top. And we don't need this many categories. And so having your logo above your categories to where, you see in this design, I don't know if you can, does my mouse show? My mouse does show. You've got, these categories run across, and then you've got the logo above it, and then this, so you've got like this 3 layers of header. What that allows you to do is just get a lot more information up there. So if you have a lot of categories and you want to stretch them all the way across the screen, this, moving that way up top and then giving these their own row allows you to do so. But we're going to be selling 40 or 50 products at best over the next several months. And long term, we may get that up to hundreds of products, but we're never going to need 15 categories and all that stuff, at least not anytime in the near future. So I want a header that is more compact. I want to condense that header down so that it doesn't look awkward. Like, this would look really strange if I have like one category, if I just have t-shirts or shop or something like that, men's, women's, right? It would look kind of silly. So we want a much more efficient use of space, but that also gives us the benefit of moving that real estate up. Like, you got to think of this in the terms of real estate. This is prime real estate. And when somebody lands on the page, I want to move that header up so that we have more real estate for merchandising, to give them something, of interest for them to click on to try to make the sale. And right now, a third of my screen is taken up by this massive header. And so I don't think this is the right theme for us, but it says there are 3 options on this theme. Again, I'm not real sure what those options are. It includes 3 styles. Theme options. Okay, so there's going to be the light one. There's going to be a dark one. And then whatever this one is, it has a different layout. Again, it's not a really efficient design. So we want to find a theme. That's kind of our first thing. So we're going to go into the theme marketplace and we're going to look around. Now, what am I looking for in a theme? What I want, again, is that efficient header. So kind of small. I don't have a lot going on this site because we're just getting started. But ideally, I want it centered around search. So what that means is ideally I would have a search bar always visible. I don't want someone to have to click on search. Search is more important for navigation than it's ever been. And so I want that search bar always visible. If you've got like an icon and somebody's got to click and then search, fine, whatever. I don't know, we'll run tests to see how that hinders conversion rates or your revenue per visitor or whatever. But ideally, I don't want that. And I absolutely don't want it on mobile. Like, that's non-negotiable. The great thing is we can customize these themes as we need. So if we find one that services all of our other needs, but maybe it doesn't have those things, we can tweak it and adjust it. And oftentimes these themes have, different settings and things you can do to kind of tweak them a little bit. So we're gonna just click in here and kind of look around at themes and see what jumps out at us. I don't care if it's paid. I don't care if it's free. Like, BigCommerce themes are not terribly expensive. So I know what it would take me to design and develop a theme from the ground up. So paying $300 or $400 for one doesn't really bother me, but free is always more better there. I mean, that's saving money is always a good thing. So if anybody sees any themes they like as we're going through here, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on any of these. So we're in the BigCommerce theme marketplace here. I'm not too worried about how it's displaying or what it's saying, but you see this one here has got a little more efficient header. Like, it's still doing that similar thing to where it's got its own row where you could put a bunch of categories, but it's done something interesting in that it's brought content up here. So anything that's not categories is kind of up in the header, and then these have been moved down beside the logo. So this is basically Cornerstone, but a more efficient version of Cornerstone. So this is already a step in the right direction. Now, it doesn't have my search button or my search box, but we could trim that. I don't know what this is right here, but wish list or something like that probably. So we might could get rid of that and add a search bar, and you might could work it in there. The mobile version here does not have a search visible at all times. I'm assuming it's going to be behind the hamburger menu. And then there's a few different options. I'm sure you can just customize the colors. I don't hate this one. Like, that's the first one they showed us. That's not bad. So I'm going to pop that up in a new window. And then I'm going to look. That's kind of our benchmark now. $300 theme. That's our benchmark. So we'll continue to go and see if we find something that we like even better. Slider headers. Alexander says slider headers are usually good. What do you mean by slider headers, Alexander? Fill me in there. Make sure we're talking same terms when you say a slider header. All right, so this one has a search box. This one has a search box already visible, which is good, but it's still fairly inefficient in its design. It's still, everything's up top. I like the cart all the way over in the right. That's kind of where people expect it. So this is not it's to the right of the list, so it's not terrible, but not in love with that one. Let's see here, just kind of continuing through. I don't know how many themes BigCommerce actually has in its marketplace. And you could get BigCommerce themes from the marketplace, but you can also go, there's a lot of, Theme Forest or Envato Marketplace or whatever those are, and get themes as well. I've never used one of those, but you can give it a try. So this is much more efficient. It uses photography a lot more to kind of go up behind the header, so the header design is not so important. I'd be interested to see what it looks like on a secondary page. Of course, they've got this version where, so this is a lot more efficient, right? Like you've got your shop info, wish lists, and then your currency selector, which I'm not going to have. May not even do wish lists to start with. So I'm not sure what this hamburger menu does, but this is all like one solid line with a search bar, or search icon. So you could easily add a search box right there with a little customization. So as far as layout goes, I think I like this header better than the other one. And then that's probably my primary driver right now of the theme design is the header, because everything in between I'm probably going to customize, although it, how it lays out products is important as well, because that can take a lot of time to customize. So we can click preview. We can see what that looks like on our store with our products. And so if we just switch to this theme, we would look like this, and, a whole bunch of stuff moving around. And, the product listing is not my favorite thing. And of course, just so you know, the products listed here are just the demo products that come with BigCommerce. So the product listing's okay. It's not wonderful. Or they go to this more efficient header here when you scroll down, which I do like. What in the world? Okay, so we've obviously got an issue there. That's a nice compact menu. The only thing I would change is having that search bar open. I don't know if I love the whole page search overlay. Need to find a product. What are we talking about? Owl. Okay. I don't love that, but I do think I like this header layout a little better than what we were looking at, this one. I think I like it a little bit for our store, just because we don't need this much information. So this theme is, how much is this theme? Where are we at? Which theme were we looking at? Solar Gifts, Solar Fashion, which is saying, so it's a $300 thing. It's an alternative to, like, all of these, they just customize the colors and the layout's fairly well the same. So it's one theme, but it looks like 5 themes in the freaking marketplace. I don't know why they do it like that, but, well, I mean, Alexander, to make sure, slider headers are usually good. Now, when I'm talking header, I'm talking about the menu up, not necessarily the carousel that goes below that. And so, there's been a lot of, if you're talking about the carousel that goes below that, sure, slider, they look nice, but there's been a lot of studies that say if you give people too many options in that carousel, if you give them more than one option, they're less likely to click any option. So when you've got a small store and you're actually just selling a small number of products, I would just give them one option in that carousel. And if you're talking about using a carousel in the actual header, the menu up, I don't know if I don't know if I follow you exactly what you mean there, but if you got an example, show me. Happy to take a look at one. All right, so let's kind of continue down. See, this one is nice here. Well, pop it up in a new window. Okay. All right, so this one is good. Like, I really like that. This is nice and concise. The only problem being the search not being, already opened up. But you've got this to the right, this to the left, the logo. Like, this is very, very clean. You've got a little place up here for some messaging. The mobile, again, the search is an easily visible icon, but like if you type, okay, and it does navigation at the bottom like it's an app. I don't know if I want to go that route. Let's view this in our store. Well, this is their store, but okay. So the header shrinks a little, you know, it loses the messaging up top. It shrinks a little. The logo gets a little smaller, which is kind of nice. But this is not the layout here. You see how this is in the middle and that's to the left, and now this is a completely different thing, which is still a nice thing, but not what they were selling. Okay, and then I go mobile, and we've got categories, home. I don't know. I mean, that could be nice. Takes up a lot of screen real estate, though, that bar across the bottom. So that's interesting. I wouldn't mind testing this one, but I'm not sure about it, right? And then you've got that, even though it's not on mobile. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. Like, why is that a different layout? Maybe I need to go to one of these others. And see if I can get that same. Okay, so this is that design with that layout, this layout with the menu to the left, or that logo to the left, the menu in the middle. Again, pretty good. Nice and clean. You know, that menu's just so small. You don't need to shrink it too much, but you see the height of it, and then when I scroll down, it shrinks just a little, but it's always there. Search is a simple pop-up. Let's check mobile on this one. All right, so it does do still those app-based buttons at the bottom, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's pretty simple. Let's see, product listing. I don't know if I like having these over the image, right? Like, have them down there, leave them visible. What I don't want to do is hide buttons, right? I don't want to hide buttons. I want a very Fisher-Price website. I want big, bold, bright colored buttons. I definitely don't want to buy now to be a red, like caution. Make it a green or a blue or anything but red. You know, add to cart being a black button, which doesn't really signify action. So I don't, but the colors we can change. What I don't want though is for these to be hidden and you have to like kind of find them, right? Like, it's subtle, but you got to think about your customer. I mean, just think about the average person. Like, think about that guy that is just average in every way. And then realize that half the people in the world are dumber than that guy. And so, like, you just don't know how well they can use your website. How, you know, just because you use the website a lot or you're always on the web doesn't mean that everyone is. And we're going to be catering to a little bit older audience, not completely, but, you know, when we're selling alcohol themed merchandise, bourbon themed merchandise, good bourbon's expensive. And a lot of the folks are older than I am that are into it, or at least my age, and you just don't know their technical sophistication. So we want to keep this very, very simple. We don't want anything too terribly artistic. We just want it super easy to use. So, all right. Stephanie says she's building a site with such a slider header right now. Yeah. Okay, so they're talking about the carousel with the slider. Yeah. Carousels are great, but I would test, right, Stephanie? If you're building one with it and you're thinking of not doing it, test, right? Like, put some heat tracker on there, you know, Lucky Orange, or there's a bunch of them. Just pick one. Find the cheapest one you can. I don't know what the cheapest one you can is, but test it, see where people click. What percentage of the people are clicking on it when it's one option versus what percentage of people are clicking on it when it's moving. You know, don't take anything I say, and that's part of why I want this website built, is that we want to be able to test those things. I don't want to tell you that's what you should do. I want to show you that's what you should do. I want to do, like, we're going to build this, we're going to pick a theme, and then we're going to improve the theme. So that's why I don't really care too much about the theme. I want the search bars visible. Well, if we find one without the search bars visible, we'll go with it if we like it. And then I'll do a test where the search bar is visible and see if that has an impact on the business. Like, that's part of the whole thing of building this website, not just building a site to make sales. I do like this design. I think this is my favorite one so far. So we're going to close that one out. It's definitely a step in the right direction from this. But you just see, and this has all of this header stuff up here, this BigCommerce header stuff. This one, you know, obviously has a menu bar up there, BigCommerce private notification. But you see how much more efficient and how much more of this we see, even though that image is massive. So I like this one. This one, again, is $195. I like it better, and it's cheaper, even better. All right, so let's just keep going. And there's only 5 pages. Like, this is one of the drawbacks of picking BigCommerce. Really is. If I go to Shopify, I'm probably going to have 8,000 pages of themes to choose from. Now, BigCommerce has some good themes. They do. Don't get me wrong. There's some high quality themes, and I think most of these themes in here are of pretty good quality. It's not like back in the day with Magento 1 where you bought a theme and Lord knows what you were going to get. But there's just not the level of options available, and I think that's a huge opportunity. I really think BigCommerce's marketplace is just ripe with opportunity for folks right now to build themes. And honestly, I'm thinking about doing that for Bruzel, like building a Bruzel theme from ground up that is exactly what I'm looking for, and then just putting that in the theme marketplace. But selling products is a lot different than selling services. So supporting that and updating it, and it's a lot that goes into it. So it's not something you can just do off the cuff unless you want to just give it away for free. All right, so let's see. Still no comments on LinkedIn. Let me refresh this LinkedIn feed over here and just make sure LinkedIn's not glitching out. Well, I typed a comment. It showed up. So I'm assuming they're working. All right, so bespoke, again, kind of inefficient. These are, like, this is one we've already looked at. I am on more than page 1, or I'm on page 2, and we've already looked at that one. Again, they put it in here like 5 or 6 times because they have different variations of the same theme. So even though we've got 5 pages of themes, each one of them has multiple variations in. So it seems like there's 5 pages of themes when in actuality there's like 2 or 3 pages of themes. So there's a lot of opportunity here. So if any of you are theme developers, why would you not be putting out high quality BigCommerce themes? All right, so what I didn't test on this theme is what happens when you add something to the cart. Okay, I don't love that. I don't love that. I do love the kind of pop out tray. Like, I want it to be a thing. I don't want, if someone adds it to cart, I don't want the notification to be anything they can miss, right? Like, there's no confusion on whether or not they saw it or they didn't see it. So didn't love that. That is a big check in the negative column for that theme. This is a theme we're already looking at. Again, another variation of it. Another variation of that theme where the logo is center aligned. This is like an Amazon theme, which no way that's going to be. It is search. Like, it's a good point right there, right? Like, Amazon search is it's like right there in the header. It is the largest thing in the header. It is completely the focus of what you're doing there. And so when you're doing that theme, this is what they do it for a reason. Like, they understand conversion rates, right? Like, they are a machine that is well oiled to take your money. And if they're doing it, probably a reason for it. But we don't have the level of products. We definitely don't need all of this menu structure over here on the side or any of that garbage. So no real sense in looking at that theme. Stencil demo. That's just the stencil Cornerstone Light theme. Again, so 3 of the themes are the theme that it came with in here. I almost want to count these just to see how many different themes there actually are in the BigCommerce marketplace. I mean, I'm not sure why there's, so many places where you can buy themes that aren't in the BigCommerce marketplace, and I'm not sure why they don't post them over here as well. Probably because they don't want to take a rev share. I'm sure BigCommerce is going to take a cut of those, but that's just speculation. I don't know. All right, the Vault theme here is decent looking, but again, not as efficient as what we've got. I don't really see anything, so it doesn't look like we've got a ton of options here. Okay. Warehouse. Okay, so there's more than 5 pages. But anyway, you understand, there's not a ton of pages. This one is super efficient here. Let's take a look at that one. The Milano theme. Logo to the left. Menu in the middle. It's very similar to this one. It's very similar. What's the price on it? So it's $170. So it's basically a very similar theme with a little lower price point. So let's look and see what it looks like. Okay. All right, so search takes over the entire page instead of being in the header. Again, buttons that pop up. Add to carts down here, but then quick view and compare. When it add to cart, like these quick view and compare completely take over the product. So I'm looking at this, what in the world is it? Dustpan and brush, this demo product. And your natural tendency is to move your mouse over it. And I move my mouse over it, and now it switched the photo. Okay. But then it completely blocks the picture that I was looking at. And then it does it with a quick view and a compare, which are not the things you want. Like you want someone to find the information they need to then buy this product. So the add to cart is hidden. I don't even really notice the add to cart. Like this is so jarring and grabs my attention so much because it happens right under the mouse that I never even noticed the add to cart button down there. And I really want to test having an add to cart button. Even having it. Like, how many people add something to the cart? Like, really, think about your own shopping. How many times have you added something to your cart from the category page? Like Amazon. Does Amazon even allow that? All right, so you see I've been looking at camera gear here, but look, I can't add anything to my cart, right? Cowboy hats, and we'll talk about that. You'll see that in an upcoming video, right? But let's just search for camera. All right, but you see that search bar is the header. And so you can't add anything to your cart. Well, look right here. Okay, so I can add some things to my cart, but not everything to my cart from the actual category. I don't know if that's because they're options, but no. So like just some things. But they don't change the picture. They don't, add something that covers the picture as soon as you're looking at it. Doesn't do it. So let's check up on the chat before we continue here. BigCommerce give pre-order services in websites. I'll have to check on that. We do so many evaluations for so many platforms. I get a little. Sometimes I got to refresh my memory on which ones do what off the cuff before I just tell you the wrong answer. I don't know right off the top of my head. I'll have to check that out because honestly, I want to do some pre-orders. So we're going to do some content on that. Nikesh says he wants to start an e-commerce business, a manufacturer of fashion products. I want a pre-order option in my site. What's the best option for pre-order? WooCommerce, Shopify, or BigCommerce? Well, with WooCommerce, you'll be able to do anything you want, but whether that's the right fit or not, let's just use Google here and see if I can refresh my memory right quick. I want to say there's a I want to say it is available, but I just want to double check that there was a way of accomplishing it, but it wasn't exactly straightforward. All right, so availability right here, you can, editing a product's availability setting allows you to provide shoppers with a sneak peek of upcoming products, take pre-orders for products not yet available, and disable purchasing for out-of-stock products that don't track inventory in the control panel. So there you go. Worst case on any site, what you could do is just work with messaging, right? To make sure there's a message that says this is a pre-order and you've got, just put your inventory in. But if you want like a true pre-order, here's as though they have it right there based on a quick Google search. So I thought they did, but I didn't want to say and be wrong about it. Yeah, you could sell products in, if you come in here to your storefront, there's going to be like a channel manager. You'll be able to push products out to a lot of other channels. I don't know exactly what all channels are here. Let's open this in another panel here and find out. But you've got channel manager here, and then you can add storefronts and marketplaces. So if you click add new, you've got Walmart, Facebook, Amazon, eBay, Wish. You can integrate with Clover, and then you can run ads here. So there you go. Those are the ones that are just out of the box through the channel manager on BigCommerce. There you go. Edward's got you there. I'm sure my video is a little bit behind, so I just showed you the ones that you can sell on if you want to. So let's continue our theme discussions here. We are on the Milano theme. I think that's the favorite thus far. Let's see what happens when I add something to my cart. Like nothing happened. Did it add to the cart? Did it not add to the cart? And then I can't add it to the cart again. But there's no message at all. Like that is, no. That one's out. That one's out. I'm not dealing with, listen, if you come across some stupidity in like an obvious aspect of a theme, you're probably going to get stupidity in a lot of areas of that theme. And you could fix stupidity, and maybe there's a configuration setting I'm not aware of, but that's just silliness there. So lifestyle. And it's a free thing. Lifestyle is a free theme. Okay, so this is kind of simple. Everything's kind of simple, but I'm kind of wanting simple. It's a super efficient layout. Let's preview this one in the site. Just closing a bunch of these out. All right. So it's got a hamburger menu all the time, which, okay, like I don't mind that so much. It's one of those things where some people prefer using it. So having it available all the time is not a bad thing, even though I can't seem to click it. But it does have navigation, right? The hovers and things could use some work, but it's super efficient. Again, I would rather the search bar be open here, but okay, I don't. All right, it hides those things and it shows search. That search bar right there needs to be more visible. So if it were white or something like that on that dark header, that's an easy CSS fix. I think that might be acceptable, although I would obviously rather have it visible all the time. So let's check out tablet mode here. Okay, so now the search bar is available, which is super important on mobile. I told you on mobile, I want that search bar always visible. You've got this navigation. Okay, this is a free theme. Is there a catch? Because I'm liking it better than a lot of the paid themes. Go to mobile. Again, search bar is completely visible here. Let's see what the product listing on desktop looks like. Okay, see, I like that. Like the add to cart, I would probably rather have that just always visible and not get rid of the title. Like, I saw that, because people are shopping by image. I'm looking at the image and then I hover over the image, and then I look at the title, and the title's gone. I don't like that. But maybe that's an option. Maybe that's something we can tweak later. I think the product listing, the hovers are real simple. They're not too jarring. So other than this covering up the title, I don't mind it. Like I kind of dig this layout. We may have found our theme here. Were there any other contenders here? See anything on that page? Scales looks kind of interesting there, so I popped it up in a new. How many pages are there? I thought they were just maybe they've added more themes since the last time I looked. Still a ton of opportunity there, though, if you're thinking about building themes. I don't really like this left-hand deal. It's just unusual, right? Like it's not. You know what we didn't test here? Adding to cart. Where's that at? Okay. I'm hoping that's configurable. What is it doing? Okay. Maybe a reason this one's free. Why is it doing that? So it adds to cart, it takes you to the cart, and then it reloads again. Is that something to do with the preview? It's happening on every page. I click, it gives me the loading screen, the page loads, and then it reloads. Okay, let's just make sure we ain't got something weird going on here. And that could be a preview glitch or something. Like, man, that sucked because this one's free and I liked it. Let's add theme to the site. This is how easy it is to add a theme to the site. That's it. It's now my theme. Right? All there is to it. So now that theme is installed on my store, which already looks better as long as that glitch is not a thing. It's not a thing. I don't know if that's was a preview thing. We do have like a white bar here for nothing, but again, style. They get rid of the logo on the slide down menu, but it's still like super tall. Okay, so the preview is obviously doing it different than the theme's actually doing it. It's got the pop-up style, which if your customers are going to be ordering one product and one product only, having this to where the next option is, hey, buy it, check out, hey, right, is good. If they're going to be doing a lot of things, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. That would be a good split test. Daily Momentum is asking over in the chat, will this be recorded? Yeah, I mean, it'll be on YouTube. I'll leave it up for you if you want to. I mean, it's just me rambling for hours at this point. I do need something to drink here. We're going to go non-alcoholic. As long as I'm going to be streaming, I might get sloppy today. But yeah, it'll be on YouTube. So you should be able to just find it under the previous live streams for today. Okay, so I don't hate it. I'm going to finish trying to go through the available options here just real quickly. I think that's a contender. I think that's a good enough theme to get us started, and then we can maybe reevaluate our options later. And sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you choose a theme, you start seeing what its options are, how well you could customize it, and then you find out that it wasn't the right choice, and you just got to go back and do all that work again. But it's a great thing about a SaaS platform like BigCommerce is if I weren't talking to you, the site would already be half built. So it's not, you might spend a Saturday building it out, and then if, you can't customize it, or it's not right, or it's got some real, bad stupidity in there that you can't overcome, pick another theme, spend a Saturday, rebuild the site. So again, for those that have just joined us, what we're looking for is something that is search focused, a super small, efficient header, because we don't have a ton of categories. We're just looking for something that kind of fits the site we're building, because we're just getting started. We don't have a huge catalog. We're not going to have a ton of categories. That's kind of clean looking. I like that kind of solid color, just simple layout. I'm popping these up in a new window, just so you know. So we'll go back. I'm just trying to get through the list here. I don't know. They don't do a good job of telling me how many pages we've got here. But just looking for those efficient headers for us to really compare, to see if one's better than our free setup there. I mean, that's super efficient, but there didn't look to be any search. Again, see, like Geneva. It's the exact same theme with some different design aspects. I'm not really concerned with too much about like this Milano. So when we looked at earlier, and here it is, we're on the last page. It's on the last page. It was on the first page, and it was on the last page. There's not as many themes here as you actually think. There's just options off of those themes. So the hero theme, again, logo all the way to the left. You've got some space up to the top for free sale or free shipping or sale or whatever. You've got different menu items here for our categories. You've got a search bar, which could be opened up potentially. It's not a bad theme. I don't know if I like it necessarily any better than the theme we've already chosen that's free. The menu's not anything special. It does that whole page search thing, which I'm not just like a huge fan of. We want to stop anything that's jarring to people, right? And so when you click something and it just takes up the whole screen, it's jarring to people. They may not know how to get out of there. They may have accidentally clicked it. You just don't want anything that's just terribly jarring. Again, covers up the freaking picture as I'm hovering over it. Like sometimes us designers, we just too smart for our own good, right? Like sometimes we just do stuff that is counter to what our customers are actually wanting or actually thinking, right? Like I'm looking at that shoe, I hover over it, and now I can't see the freaking shoe anymore. Okay, now I've got a quick view and I can click something. And, that wasn't the quickest quick view, but now it gives me barely any information that I didn't already have. I can't scroll down. So this is off the screen, and I can't get down there to those images. So I don't know what's down here. So like this, no, that's completely and totally out. Hero, view demo. Is that what we just viewed? That is what we just viewed, isn't it? Yeah. So that one's done. I don't even know how to pronounce. Anybody know how to pronounce Atelier? Atelier. We'll go with that. They're doing some interesting things over here with collections. I don't really need that. I'm not sure what to think about Hamburger Menu all the time. Like these days, most people know what the Hamburger Menu is. But if I've only got 3 categories or 4 categories, why would I not want them visible? Like I don't want somebody to have to click and then click. Now that's useful on mobile because a click is a little easier. Like you're not scrolling all the way up to the top left. But there's also not real estate. So you kind of have to do that. But on desktop, there's plenty of room for my categories. So now again, they may have options off of this theme. And you click, and instead of being something efficient, they decide to just take up the whole screen. Not my idea of a good time. They're going to do the same thing on the search. So instead of clicking here and then having a search bar, or just having the search bar. Like right now, if that search bar were visible, that click would mean I'm already in the search bar typing. This one, it does focus on the search bar. So if I start typing, it already is there, but nobody's going to know that. Most of your customers are not going to realize that. So they're going to click, and they're going to scroll all the way down here, and they're going to click, and then they're going to type in what they want, shirt, and then they're probably going to scroll over and click this, and then it's going to take you to another page. This is kind of a cool layout. If you were doing fashion, this could be a really nice layout here. This could be really useful. I do like kind of this big blocks. Like I could see that being useful for the right site. Ours, not the right site. So this is really more high-end fashion. And then how do you get off of it, right? Like the only way to get rid of this search box is to scroll all the way the opposite. Say I wanted to click that right there, or I wanted to click cart, and I accidentally hit that. Now the only thing for me to do is to scroll all the way back across my screen and click on that. And that, my friends, is not my idea of a good time. Let's check mobile. Same thing, right? I clicked on it, and now only way is to find that up in the corner. They've got some good things there, but there's some things I don't like as well. This is that same theme with some different options. Arcade theme. Let's view the demo on that. Kyle says it doesn't reload on his end. Kyle may be a little bit behind us. It's not, when I click the demo, it's not reloading for me. So I'm not sure what was going on. It was just in the preview of our site. So it's probably something conflicting with the JavaScript in the preview. Can customers pay from Google Pay like service in BigCommerce? Yeah, let's kind of go. I have some. Anyway, let's pop this up. We'll talk about payment options. We've got to go through and figure out some payment options. We probably won't do that in this stream. See, I'm going to use. I really need PayPal, so I'm probably just going to use PayPal Braintree. But I've got to have a tax ID number to sign up for PayPal Braintree. So this whole Bruzel thing, I've got to register the business as an LLC. We've got to do some stuff like that to get a tax ID number. And that's all in process right now. So I'm hoping that's done fairly soon and we can get all of that set up to actually set up. The default that's kind of turned on, but you've got to still kind of apply and set it up, are the pre-negotiated rates with PayPal. And with PayPal, they're going to take, obviously, PayPal and most of these credit cards. You come down here and you've got Stripe. And so you can take Apple Pay, Google Pay, MasterPass, Ideal, SEPA, I don't even know what that is, or Alipay, and then obviously credit cards as well. And then there are going to be a lot of other payment methods that you can choose from. There's going to be a ton of different credit card options. So just hit the marketplace, but just the two that are kind of in the box. That anytime something's in the box with a platform, the platform's taking a cut of that. So Stripe and PayPal are the big boys that are paid to be, the default payment options here. And I do like the Apple Pay, the Google Pay, those types of things. I think those could be really useful. But me selling to bourbon folks, a lot of the kind of underground after secondary bourbon market, where say you buy a bottle like this bottle, a full one, not an empty one, and you want to, this one in particular is not rare. You can get this at any liquor store anywhere. But some of these back here, like they're $100 bottle MSRP, but they sell on secondary market for $400, $500, $600, some of them $1,500. And so there's a whole market in really in Facebook groups and things like that. So there's a whole market for people buying bourbon. And a lot of them use PayPal. So I know a lot of our customers that we will cater to use PayPal. So I want to make sure I have that as a payment option available. How can I inform customers that product is ready to ship and do their payments? you just have to get in there and kind of play around with it. At some point, we want to do some pre-orders, and I'll be able to show all of that. You know, I really like email marketing automation software like Klaviyo, or .digital if you're, you know, on the more on the enterprise end. And lots of times you can set up flows like that. Like if, you know, if you have a pre-order and it's in like a pre-order status, and then the status changes, maybe set up some triggers and things that'll automatically send them. You also can ship the order, and they would get a notification based on how you have your order notifications set up. So you've got options there. But I'm going to get back to our theme here. I wanted to see a demo of that one. This one's clean. I like just the aesthetic of this. Obviously, I wouldn't use these colors, but I do like these big blocks. You know, the quick overview is not my favorite thing in the world, right? But it's not as disruptive as some of the others. The problem with the quick overview, here's the problem with when you're designing your buttons, when you're going through and laying out your site, the brightest colored item, or the item that stands out if you're using a lot of bright colors, should be the thing that you want them to do. And I don't want them to quick view this product. Quick view actually looks like it take me to the detail page. It did not. Okay. I don't want them to quick view. I want them to buy it. See, here's actually a pre-order set up right here. Okay, I got to choose an option for color, even though they look like they're grayed out in this theme, like they're really light gray. I thought they were disabled. Okay, so if you choose, yeah, not sure I like the UX on that, but let's go to the detail. So if you just had the pre-order button gone, that would be fine. And I would, like, for instance, color, talking about color. The fact that they used this bright kind of pinkish color up in the header, I would never, ever, ever use that color for the action item that I want somebody to do on this page. Because right now, what I want you to do more than anything else in the world is click this pre-order button or an add to cart button. Let's see if we can find one that is not out of stock. Like the fact that this doesn't tell you that it's not out of stock is you know, you want to show somebody, okay, so we got an add to cart. There's no options. What I want you to do on this page more than anything else in the world is click that add to cart button. But that add to cart button is exactly the same color as the header. So it doesn't contrast, it doesn't stand out, it doesn't really get my attention. If this add to cart button were some other color, so let's say it were, so they're using bright colors, so you're going to have to go with, say it were something like that. That's too light of a color. I would go a little deeper than that. But if it were a color that contrasted, you know, obviously add to cart doesn't contrast enough with it. But if it were, you know, a color that really jumped out at you, it's more likely to get your attention. Like now, when I glance at that page, the first thing my eye's drawn to is the blue button. And so that's what I want to do. I want to entice you to take the action that I'm trying to get you to take. And that action is add to cart. Or it may not be add to cart, it may be something else, right? It may be check out, it may be whatever. So on a page, what I want to do is I want to develop a color. And I don't really want to use that color anywhere else in the site. And I want to just use that color on buttons that I want you to click on. And so as you get accustomed to using those buttons, as you're navigating through the site, that's always the button that draws your attention to move you down the funnel. You know, you click to view a product. Now the add to cart button is a particular color. You click on the add to cart button, and then there's a notification and the cart doesn't pop up. But if you were on, you know, so now like this was what the page looked like. It was that far down, right? Let's go all the way to the top. What happened? Does it scroll? Yeah. So here's what it did. It scrolled all the way down and it gave me a notification, and that's underlined, but it's not really obvious that that's clickable. Same color as the other text. And so what's my next step? Like right now, I don't even know what this thing is. It looks like a boat paddle. I'm assuming it's a boat paddle and the handle's just cut off. And so what I want you to do is I want you to check out, like, how many people are buying 2 boat paddles? They're probably buying 1 boat paddle. So right now, I want you to be sitting on a screen with a big ass green checkout button that says, let's do this. And instead, I'm sitting here not knowing, like, they even hid the cart up in the top by scrolling me down automatically. So this just got there's a lot of bad things going on here, right? Like, the design is nice, but then, most people are going to scroll up and they're going to find their cart and they're going to click. And now I've got a checkout button that is, again, not drawing my attention to it because it's the same color they're using elsewhere. So I don't really love that. I don't really love that. I do like the design though. I don't really know what's going on. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass on that. All right. Yeah, Nikesh, like I said, pre-order something I want to do, so it's gonna take a little time though. Let's see. In India, people use a lot of Google Pay. Okay. So you should be able to sign up through Stripe. I don't know what the country limitations on that are. I mean, you just, you'll have to figure that out. All right, scales. Okay, so we got some folks down here in, like Michael Williams is joining us down here in LinkedIn, and Michael has linked us to a website. Like I said, if you're over on LinkedIn, not a lot of chat going on over there. So the ultimate WordPress theme, Cornerstone. I mean, we're dealing with BigCommerce here, not WordPress. I don't know if they're just, why do they call theirs Cornerstone? And anyway, check out X theme. Yeah, it's a WordPress theme, so I'll have to check that out. But that's, we're on BigCommerce right now for this build. So if anybody's got any BigCommerce themes they think are really good, I'm open to considering those for sure. All right, so scales. Look at it, scales. This is the last theme. This is it. Scales is, how much is scales? Does this, like the page, the detail page, doesn't tell you the price. Come on, BigCommerce. If any BigCommerce folks are watching, am I just missing that? Like if I go in here, right? So, oh, there it is right there. Buy for $175. Okay, so the big blue button in the top right. My bad. I probably should see the big ass blue button. But again, it goes back to that is a BigCommerce blue. Right? And that is a color they're using in the outlines here. And I understand that one's darker, but if that button were green, right? If that button were green, I'd have noticed it. Light green's not the right color. I need is there like a bright green? I don't know. Deep green, what is deep sky blue, even that different color. Anyway, all right, so let's look at this demo here. Scales. All right, so everything's kind of left aligned, which I don't love, I don't hate, like whatever. It may look a little funny on our site if we just have a few categories. Now we'll have a couple of pages, so hopefully there'll be 5 or 6 menu items, at least 4 or 5. It may look a little odd to have them there and then everything way over to the right, but we're on a very wide screen. I don't know how many people have massive monitors that are super wide like this. Okay, so the search completely takes over, which, I don't know, I'd have to test that. I'm not sure I like it. Again, you click, and then there's search. So like if I'm looking, like I got a big wide monitor, if I click, all I see is search way over there to the right. I don't even see your search terms over to the left. And so then I click search again, and it's like, hey, you searched for nothing. Not a big fan of that, but there's plenty of room here to make this bar visible. And then mobile, it's not visible at all. Honestly, I think our free theme is as good as any of these. I really think our free theme is as good as any. Now, I don't know how well it's supported from the developers. It's only in, is that what we're in right now? It's only in version 1.4.0, and they're not charging for it. So I don't know if I'm going to get an upcharge or something stupid later, but there it is. It's a theme. I don't guess I need a ton of support. I'm going to be hacking away. I don't know how, like, this is not a forever thing. We're not getting married to this theme. And so we're going to use it for some testing. We're going to do some PWA tests. Like, we may test out 3 or 4 different themes with different layouts and stuff. So I'm not too worried about choosing the wrong theme here. So if it's not perfect, it's fine. It's even better that it saves me $200 or $300. I go buy a nice bottle of bourbon with that. I don't have to worry about the theme too much. Madison saying, I agree with the green. On mobile, this looks cute, but not my favorite desktop theme. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these themes they're pretty good, but none of them are exactly what I'm looking for. So we're gonna see what we got going on here. Like, this is now our theme. We are in the preview. All right, let's go to the preview here. All right, so this is our theme, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna see what the options are to customize this theme. So, you know, we could download it and do all sorts of custom stuff. We're not going to do that. All right, same options there. All right, so right here, it's fully responsive, mega navigation, multi-tiered sidebar, masonry design, front page slideshow, quick add to cart. All right, so Google AMP, which I think they've pretty much, Google AMP's on its last leg at this point, but it's still a thing. All right, so we've made our choice. The theme has been chosen, and now we need to get to work. So let's click customize and see what's up. Okay, so some of this is going to be here. Some of it's going to be different places. Okay, so there's only one of those. All right, theme primary color. All right, so I've got my, second, let me go to my Google Drive. Of course, Google Drive's acting up. I've got my colors over there on Google Drive, but for some reason or another, I can't pull up Google Drive right now. You know, because why would things work? Like, why would we want things to work? There we go. Okay. All right. So I've got my like a notepad. I don't want to open this with Word. Oh, great. It's an RTF document. Anyway, I can see what I'm looking for right here. Let's just delete all this other crap. I just took the colors from my logo and just so I would have them for this exercise. So the gold, I'm thinking we go with the brown as the primary color just because it's kind of subdued. And then we can use the gold to really draw your attention to things as we need to. That's at least my thinking. We may change our minds on that as we go. I got to remember I am on a PC here, not a Mac. So I've got a Mac keyboard here. All right, without the pound sign. And then we come over here, we paste that sucker in, and Like, what do we do? That's my choice. Go for it. I just close it out. All right. Okay. Let's see what that. Let's just see what that looks like. Didn't change a damn thing. All right. So the header may have. Header and footer. Let's try that. Okay. Header background is different. So. All right. There we go. It's brown. Yay. All right, our logo, I'm just going to upload the logo I've got right now and not worry too much about optimizing the size of the logo. I do recommend that you optimize the size of your logo. So let's see here. Where's that freaking logo? Store setup. Is it going to be here? All right, we got our name, we got our address, stuff like that. Probably stuff I'm not supposed to be showing you, but oh well. What all settings we got? I don't even know what all settings we got. We're going to have a lot of this crap to figure out. It's going to be under the theme options. All right, so we can change our type or whatever we want to. We're going to have to do a fave icon. You update the logo, upload a custom image. Here we go. I love how it doesn't even, my Google Drive is a mess, just so y'all know. It is a freaking mess. All right, so there's my logo right there. We'll just have it optimized for the theme, let BigCommerce do its optimization, but I do recommend you optimize it as well. We need to create a fave icon. We'll do that later. My changes were successful. So now let's reload this and see what's up. Check the chat. Ken Shankman. Hey, Ken, how's it going, man? We're building a BigCommerce site as we go here. Although now my brown background is gone. I guess I forgot to hit the save button on that. All right. Ken in the chat. All right, so now I got to go back and fix my brown. Wonderful. Love that. Make sure when you're done with stuff, you hit the save button, folks. I want to preview the store. I don't want it in there. All right, so this is what we got. Again, this way too much space up here, so we're gonna have some work to do there. I just clicked that, and the whole freaking header went away. This may be something to do with the preview, like this may be causing our space issue up here at the top. Honestly, we'll see. But I don't want the site live. I don't want you. There's a preview code there, live and on the stream. But if you buy something, it's a demo site. I'm not responsible for shipping it, nor do I think payments are actually working at this point. Although they may be, so I wouldn't test it. I haven't given them my info to get the money from you for buying my demo products, but all right. So like I dig that already, right? Like that's clean, that's simple. Let's see what our other options are, though. Let's browse through the site, and again, I don't really want this slider. I just want a big image, so we're going to probably change that. And then my page is frozen up. Okay. So let's see what it, add to cart. I would not want the add to cart to be brown. Obviously, that goes against everything I've said here, that we want that to be a contrasting color. Well, we've got this gold in the Bruzel. And so that might be a really good color for the add to cart. It might not be, but I think it's something, you know, that we can use as a test to see if that color really draws your attention and if that color is what gets you to take the actions we want you to take. So let's see about figuring out where that is in here. Buttons and icons. See, the fact that I've only set brown in 2 places and those were brown, I'm hoping this theme primary color is the right thing for those buttons. Because if it's using header color, then this theme is dumber than I thought, and we're going to have some problems. Let's save that. And again, I want to just, you know, reduce as many issues as we have and come over here and preview it here. There we go. Add to cart. Oof. Okay, so I don't like this being that color. I think you know, the contrast on the add to cart is not wonderful, like using it in all these places. So that may be a customization I have to make. Like I may have to just, like, why would primary color be the color they use there and for text and then random ass links? Good times, right? Good times with bought themes. This is why I need to build my own theme. It really is. I don't have time to build my own theme, but let's see, are there overrides, right? Is that just what's used because nothing is set further down the override chain? All right, add breadcrumbs. We don't want to do that. We've got page headers, blog page headers. We've got optimized for theme on the sizes for the blogs, subcategories, price ranges, purchase options, and then form input fields. So I don't see anything here that is going to allow me to change those colors. Utility navigation, but see, they've all got colors set. So if they were going to pick up, if they were going to overwrite that, they would already be overwriting it. We do have a footer logo, which just gives us a URL, I guess. Why in the world would you want credits on your site? I have spent money and I have driven somebody to this site and I really, really, really need this sale because you know what? Staying in business depends on high conversion rates. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some links in the footer that might take them off to my e-commerce provider of choice just because it's in the kindness of my own heart. Give me a break. First thing you need to do when you sign up for one of these, turn off the credits. Turn off the credits. And we may turn some of these other things off as well. You know, showing these are just kind of, although I don't know if we'll have all of these, but just kind of trust icons. But until we get there, there's no sense in really worrying about it. So there's a carousel. We can turn carousel off. Apparently we can leave the arrows on. I really want to see this. Do the arrows stay if the carousel's gone? Because probably what I'll do is put something there with a full-size image, right? Like I won't do a carousel. I'll do one featured block just because I want them to do what I want them to do. I don't want to give them options. Thought I saved that. Oh, there it is. It's gone. So apparently if you turn the carousel off, the carousel icons go away as well, even though it's a completely separate checkbox. Why give me a separate? I guess you could turn the arrows off without the, what was that? I don't even know where I'm at now. Got me so flustered, I don't even know where I'm at now. Jerry Lopez in the chat. What's going on, Jerry? Quentin in the chat over here. I've got a big TV over here with all my, you know, both comments going. Quentin, we're going to talk about shipping. Well, right now it's all drop ship. So it's not a huge thing, but if y'all do anything with dropship, let me know. But pretty soon we're going to try to start offering products that are not just dropship, and so we'll definitely have to talk about it at that time. Yeah, so we'll have that conversation. Right now, I'm just worrying about one thing at a time, trying to get the site live and all the legal stuff prepared, and then but we're hoping to be selling next month sometime. So, or within the next couple of weeks, few weeks. I'm going to be disappointed if we're not selling some products. So we've got designs going and everything's rocking and rolling. Everything's moving pretty good. We're just trying to register trademarks and legal stuff and all that good jazz there, to make sure that we're set up to, because we really need tax ID to set up the accounting stuff. We need bank accounts for this that are separate from that, and tracking expenses. And once you have more than one business going on, things start getting complicated. You don't necessarily have to do that yourself, although you may need a tax ID number. But go to LegalZoom. I think it's $75. You set that stuff up. You fill out some forms with the IRS if you're in the U.S. and you got a tax ID number. Otherwise, I guess you can just take PayPal. All right, so Quentin says he knows drop shipping. So we'll have that conversation, because I definitely want to know more about what y'all do around drop shipping. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and uncheck this just to make sure it's not doing something stupid, like adding some JavaScript or those arrows are not hidden there for no reason. We could allow the image to stretch on large screens. Until we get the image, I don't really know why we might need to do that, but say we can do a homepage promotional banner. But then, like, how am I adding the banner? Is it just text? Is that what we're doing? Is it that banner up top? Is that what we're... I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, so that was fun. That's good. Good times there. I don't know what it's doing with that, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be putting in an image URL or what there. Instructions are helpful, people. Like I'm sure I should probably know this by now, but instructions are helpful. That's instructions, and then I can give it a link. So maybe you should just put text to say, hey, this should be an image URL. It says first banner image. So it does say image, but then, like, where do I upload it? Why don't I have just a button where I can click and upload that thing somewhere? So I'm going to go host it on the web or something, and then maybe upload it into a blog post. Like, anybody hacking this to get that up there? All right. So we'll deal with all this text later as we start adding products. How many featured products? When you're doing products, like product in a listing, I like for them to be multiples of 12, if at all possible. And the reason I like 12 is because as you contract and widen the screen, it works in 4s, 3s, 6s, whatever, depending on the width of your screen. So there's just so many times that it'll fill a full width without actually, leaving like one product on the bottom row by itself or whatever. Just kind of that hanging product down at the bottom. USP. Okay, I don't even know what it's doing with all that nonsense. So we're good there. Products. Show product sale badges. So this little green badge, you can't see what I'm pointing at when I'm pointing it over here. This little green badge over here, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that showing over the top. I don't like the look of that badge, but I do like it. So we'll end up customizing that before it's all said and done, but I do like it. We can change the color of the badge. We can change the badge text color, which is really nice. All right, quick view. Look. The quick view button is gone. Love it. Save that immediately. Save. Save, 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 please save. Oh my God, look at that. Now if we could just remove this stupidity where it shows over the top of the title and the title disappears, this will be a win. This will be a win, 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 win right there. Okay, I don't care for compare for us. You've got stuff that needs comparison, could be good. I say test it because I don't think a lot of people use comparisons unless you're, if you're selling tech or something like that, maybe. But how many people compare shirts? Like, I like this shirt or I like that shirt. Am I going to line them up in a comparison and say, oh, I think I want the 60% cotton and the 10% rayon and, 30% polyester, or I want this 65% blend? I'm not going to do that. I either like the shirt or I don't like the shirt. So I don't think for something like what we're doing, comparison is going to be really, really good. So show quantity selection on product page. What would happen if I didn't have a quantity selection? Let's, so this quantity selector right here, what happens if I turn that off? Save? Is that not what it, is that not what I read? Show quantity selection on product pages. What that say? I've saved it, right? Like it's there. Let me go into one on the preview here, and I can't even click on it on the preview. Gotta do it up here, or I don't know. No. Okay. Anyway. Oh, there, it did go away. Maybe I hadn't saved it. I don't know why you would want to do that. I'm sure there's a use case for that. But I need it back. I need it back. There you go. For me, I don't care about product weights. Shipping is shipping for us. I don't really care to show the weights. It's t-shirts for the most part. As we add other products, especially if we add heavy products, the weight may matter. If the weight is important to the user, it may matter, if you're selling something where weight means something to the product. T-shirts, okay, weight means something in that, if this is so many grams or pounds and this one's so many more, it's a heavier, thicker t-shirt, but they can get that from other means. So I don't think it's really useful for me. I'm not going to show product dimensions, not really useful for me. Show shop by price and filters. We're not going to have filters because we're using like the cheapest plan available. And show product reviews. Absolutely. We're going to have a really solid review strategy. Number of products displayed. Again, 12 is great. Related products, I think, is going to be more this down here with a slider. Like I don't know if I want any more than 4, honestly, but I'll leave it at 10 for now because I don't have a strong opinion on that. Product cards. Is that this? I don't even know what a product card, what they mean by product cards. Don't really care. Oh, quick search. Okay. Anyway, leave all the images optimized. Let BigCommerce do its thing, do its magic. I don't care anything for it. So, all right, let's check the chat, see what's going on. I just used the hero banner in Page Builder and voided all the carousel issues. Ken, that's smart. That's what I plan on doing as well. We're not going to deal with the carousel. First of all, I want the page to be fast. So I want less JavaScript on the page. And that carousel usually comes with some fairly hefty JavaScript costs. And there's a lot of usability studies, as I mentioned, around having one image versus having multiple. Whether those studies are several years old now, so they may not even be accurate anymore. So it may be something we test in the future. I think that would be a really interesting test, actually. But for now, we're going to go with one because less JavaScript. I think it's better, and it's less work. So that's like a win-win-win-win-win right there. Less work, and I think it's the best option. Sign me up for that. Sign me up for that. All right. Michael Williams, I always come to this point. Should I continue with a theme or build it from scratch? So many options I could care less about, but only a few of the ones I really want. Yeah, that is the thing, right? But right now, I need to get the site selling. So if you're starting a business, there's so much to do, right? Like there's legal stuff, there's accounting stuff. I got to figure out what shirts, we got samples. I've got designs being created, so I'm having to come up with ideas there. We've got, all different types of products we could be selling. We've got the site to build. What payment are we going to take? How are we going to ship them out if we actually inventory them? How are we going to warehouse? Who's going to ship them? How are we going to handle customer support? There's just what e-commerce platforms, right? And we're going to do email marketing automation. How do we do that? How do we do this? And, there's just a billion different things that you'll need to do in order to build this business. And so the goal now is just to eliminate as many of those decisions as possible. Keep it simple. I can always build this from scratch later, and I probably will. But the uptick I will get in conversion rates when I've got just a little bit of traffic, probably not worth the effort I will put into building this theme from scratch. So I could find one that's pretty good. It may cost me a little bit in conversions, but we could quickly fix any major flaws with it to get those conversion rates where we want them to be. So, the goal is just to not to overthink it, and as we get to where complexity or things that require significant effort, as we get to where those things are actually holding us back as a business, then we tackle those things. There's no reason to put all of this effort into something that may not even be a problem. I haven't had sale one. We haven't even figured out Facebook ads and all of those things. And so if I haven't done those things, what's the purpose in trying to spend a bunch of effort in worrying about something that may not matter, right? Like if nobody likes the shirts, if I can't get any traffic to the site, then I could have built the Taj Mahal of themes and it's completely and totally useless to me. And so keep it simple. Let's get sales. Let's, because I actually want to show the difference in this and a custom built theme and a PWA and, different things. So starting simple and making it more elaborate later is actually even better content for me. So, exactly. Chris Brown, keep it simple, stupid. Absolutely. Just get selling, right? Don't let anything stop you from making that progress. All right, so buttons and icons. I'm still trying to find how to change. Like, I like this color, but I don't want everything that color. Like, oh, this is stupid. So I may have to change those, and then I don't know if there's an override for that button. So I may end up having to do some customizations to the theme to make that a thing, right? Because all these, like, these are buttons. Tertiary, the right pronunciation. Tertiary action button. So that's tertiary is going to be the third thing we want people to do. So I'm interested to see what a tertiary button is. We made tertiary bright green, which is not the right color for the third option we want somebody to do in most scenarios. But I wanted to make it a bright color because I'm curious as to what the tertiary buttons are. I mean, you've got the sale, but that was green already. So what are our tertiary buttons? Or did we not have tertiary? I think I may be saving it to, I don't know. I may have to wait till it saves and then reload the page. It appears as though I have no tertiary buttons. There are no tertiary buttons. And we're going to have to do some work because, like, continue shopping shouldn't be the same color as proceed to checkout. Don't want it. Proceed to checkout can be the same color as PayPal checkout because both of those are checkout. But this should be a color that gets your attention, but not as much attention as the proceed to checkout, because that's what I want you to do, right? Like the color I'm using to train you to navigate around, the color I'm training your brain to look for on the site. This is the color you want when you want to click on something. In my case, it's my logo color. So if you want to go home, it's there, right? It's the main button that you use to move throughout the site. And I only want to use it on the buttons I want you to use. So your brain will get to where as you're, moving through the site subconsciously, it is looking for that color and noting where that color is because that's the button you've been clicking. And so what I don't want to do here is incentivize a button that is not the thing I want you to do. So continue shopping, view or edit your cart will not be the color of that button because I want you to check out. PayPal being that color is actually potentially a good thing. And I'm wondering if I can use PayPal. Like, I haven't signed up for anything. I just signed up for this site. I don't know if PayPal will send me money to a PayPal account with the address I used to sign up, or if I'm just screwed until I get a tax ID to sign up for it. I don't know. Never had that problem. All right. Anything else going on? MVP. Right. MVP. It's a good concept. And MVP is not necessarily completely applicable in this case because, it is MVP from the perspective of, it's the minimum effort to go into it to get up and selling, to make it good enough. But at the same time, it may be headed down the wrong path and we got to kind of start over and go that way. Whereas like in software development, an MVP means the effort we're putting in is the minimum thing. And then we're going to add effort to make it more complex. So if you look at it from a building a business perspective, it's an MVP, but from a theme perspective, it might be the wrong direction, but it is the minimum effort to get you up and going. So apparently there are no tertiary buttons that I can find. So we're just going to go back to white on the tertiary buttons. Maybe I'll find some disabled buttons, fine, social media icons, whatever. I debate, like, does anybody click on social media icons? When's the last time? When is the last time? Let me know in the chat. When is the last time you went to a website and you're like, oh, I want this brewing system, which is funny. These are demo products. When's the last time you clicked on this and you said you're looking at this product and you haven't bought it yet and you're just looking at it, you're getting your info, you're doing your thing, and you're like, you know what? I'd really like to share this to my social media. When's the last time that happened? I'm sure it's happened. I'm sure you find something incredible or unusual, but when's the last time you were just looking at t-shirts or something, just a normal old product, and you're like, you know what? This is share worthy. I really want all of my followers to know about this thing right now. I don't know. I don't think it's ever happened to me. So I have my doubts as to whether or not this is, the best thing in the world. I definitely wouldn't put it, I don't know, I might hide it. I might, if you can get people to share your stuff, that's good. You want that. You want them to share. But having little icons here where it's, they can always just copy the URL and go paste it in whatever. I don't know. I really I'm looking forward to putting a heat map on those and get some tracking and test whether anybody ever actually freaking uses them. Maybe they do. Maybe y'all use them all the time. Let me know in the chat. Social media icons, star icon full. Okay, so these are going to be our rating systems here. Let's see if anything has any ratings. Apparently not. Anyway, we'll play with that later. I'm not too worried about that. I do want them to kind of be a bright color. I don't know if I want them to be gold in this case, just because we're probably using gold as that primary button color, but that is a common color, so we might end up using the gold. We'll just have to see if that's distracting in any way. Increase, decrease button icon. Increase, decrease what? This? Okay. Checkbox and radio icon, button background, button border. All right. I don't know what those do. All right. Checkout page. We ain't got there. Payment buttons. Button color gold. What does it look like if we go the other way? Okay. It's got the blue. So if we wanted to, we could make it the blue, and then our gold is the proceed to regular checkout. I don't mind it being gold in our case, just because it is the step that we want you to do. Like, I don't give a shit how you pay me, just pay me, right? So let's we'll switch that back to gold. But I am a little perturbed, I guess is the right word, on the only way to change this button color. I also have to change all of these things, right? So I'm gonna have to just change that back to something stupid, and then we're gonna have to add some customization to change this button color here. And I'm not sure we'll get around to that today, but I don't want to download the theme and edit theme files and all that stuff on a live stream, because that's liable to take me a while, and I'm pretty slow with that stuff. I don't develop that much anymore. I get to talk for a living. I get to come on here and talk to you folks. So this is good to get me a little more access to BigCommerce's back end here. So primary color is failing us. Save that. Yeah, so of course these look like they're gray or something, and then that's a black, which is not wonderful. We just want to change that. So I'm obviously going to have some style sheet work cut out for me here. Like, there's going to be some style sheet work to be able to get everything exactly like I want. But I think this is pretty good. I don't know if this header is adding that space or what. I think I'm gonna have to put in a credit card to turn off the draft, aren't I? The preview. Okay, so there's the homepage carousel. We can change our social media links here. Again, we're not too worried about that. So what else do we need to work on? Like, that's the question. I've got to do payments, but again, I've got legal stuff. I need a tax ID before I can finish setting up payments. Shipping, we're probably going to charge a flat rate shipping, but we may actually build it into the price of the products for free shipping. We'll see. Like, we've got some decisions to make there. Let's look at the app marketplace. What have we got? Must-haves. Like, I must have these apps. Check the chat here. Anything going on? Nope. Looks like the chat is still all nice and quiet. Okay. I don't know if I necessarily must have any of these. Some of these are going to be useful, right? But we don't want to, again, keep it simple. I want to use, that's kind of interesting. Obviously, we want to be able to do some tracking and different things, but I want to be able to get the site out there like it is and start gathering some statistics to tell which of these things are actually working. Because if you end up just, okay, page 1 and page 2 appear to be identical to me. All right. If you just throw things on the site from the beginning, especially a brand new site, how do you know they're actually providing any sort of return? You know, some things like email marketing automation and stuff like that, you're obviously going to be able to tell that it's generating some revenue. Turn off this preview thing yet. I don't, like I said, I don't think I can until I put some credit card in and activate it, but I forget. I've seen it in here 1,000 times, but I always forget where it's at. Like I told you, I'm going to have to browse around in here. I don't spend an awful lot of time in here. I usually find everything, but here we go. I do this. This is what we're doing here. Oh, save. No. Yeah, save. Okay. So again, we're in their header though. Maybe incognito window now. I want to see what they're adding up there at the top versus what our actual, again, I got to remember I'm not on a Mac. I Can't use the Mac keyboard shortcuts. Oh, man. I feel like I've been talking the whole time. What have y'all been up to? See, there we go. We removed their little banner up at the top, and now the header is exactly like I want it to look. Like, this is pretty good. I would probably come in and make these a little bolder, maybe do some different things. Like, I'm not going to have a drop down because I'm only going to have a few categories. So we're going to have really nice, bold categories here. So maybe that's what we work on. Maybe we work on trying to change this up to where it's not a drop down and we've got our categories across there. So that's probably our best bet there. Okay, so let's do that. Let us do that. Make sure there's not anything else here we need to. There's some settings and stuff in here we're going to need to set up. There's obviously, right now, sales tax is not a huge concern, but it's going to be. Like, if we reach the scale we're trying to reach, we're going to have to hook up with a Vertex or an Avalar or somebody like that, a tax jar to handle some of this tax automation stuff for us. But I'm not too worried about that just to get started. My accountant may hate me for that, but that's a decision I'm willing to live with. They probably hate me anyway, honestly. So what are we doing? Okay, we're gonna deal with products and categories. All right, so shop all, and then we don't really want that. That's what the top level category is. All right, so we're just going to have a men's category. We put that in there. Yep. I don't care to redirect the old to the. It's recommended. We'll do it. All right, no parent category. I'm not worried about doing any of that stuff. We'll come back in here and do our SEO later. That may be its own live stream, just kind of doing some SEO stuff. All right, so let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it's here, but we want to move it up in the menu. Let's go ahead and edit all these real quick and get the ones we want, and then we'll see if we can move them around. And that's, it's pretty much my categories right there, right? Like, I'm going to have a men's and a women's to start with. And then there'll be different shirts in there, and then we'll get more elaborate as we go. So we're just going to trash all of these. But I want men's and women's, and then we'll drop the blog. I need to find this navigation thing we got going on here. Again, me not knowing where things are in BigCommerce's admin. Where would you put that? It's not theme dependent, right? Not theme dependent. Variants there. Oh, and I'm just clicking around, kind of finding out where some things are. All right, so I'm trying to change shop all to men's and women's. Like, I want to move it up to the top level. So where are we at? Where are we at in here? Like, managing products is not what I do at all. Like, I got a little development experience, but managing the category structure like that, that's not me. I got folks for that. And they're probably rolling their eyes right now if they're watching. Probably rolling their eyes. hopefully that's not, I mean, is that built into the theme? Was that some theme options that I think it'd be under store options here. You think I would be able to like, what's the top level category you want? Maybe under display. I don't care anything for wish list. I don't want product comparisons. I do want people to be able to create an account. I do want search suggest. I do want the quantity box. Show one time only. Oh, show one only. Okay. Category setting. All right, product settings. We want to show the price. We want to show the SKU, which I don't think even matters. Brand. I'm not going to show the brand because all things are going to be branded by us right now. Product rating, yes. Add to cart link, sure, why not? I didn't see anything to remove that stupid add to cart over the top of our products like that. Right? I didn't see anything to remove that, so I may be some customization I got to do. Yeah, Samisha says, I could see value in social sharing links depending on your products. It's possible. I'm sure there's a use case. I'm just curious if anybody has done any research, actually tested it out, really used the social sharing functionality. What time is it? I don't even know how long we've been going. It's 12:57. We've been going for 2 hours already. Man, no wonder my mouth's getting dry. All right, so still ain't found this freaking. Probably showing y'all stuff I shouldn't be showing you. I'm showing you all sorts of stuff. Y'all seeing all sorts of things today. All right. Let's go back home. Let's kind of start. Let's start from the beginning here. It shouldn't be under orders. It could be under products because that's where categories are, right? Like it could be here, but doesn't appear to be here. Like, is there like a way to like move this no parent category? So why is the like maybe it's a theme option? I don't know. I want it to say men's, women's. I don't want to say shop all. I don't want to drop down. Like that may just be how they built the theme. It was my assumption that I would be able to easily change that in the admin. But you know what they say about assuming. So, but they've got these things on the theme. So is there like a menu in here somewhere? You know what they say about assuming, right? Like, why would it be under server settings or account settings? Like, it wouldn't be under there. So, I don't know. See, this is the problem. I'd need some, Ken, you're right, man. You're right, Ken. Here you go, right here. I've got this Woodford double oaked right here. I felt like maybe, this is a really good one. This one's pretty regularly available. If you're only kind of into bourbon, this one's good. It's got a real strong vanilla flavor to it, but they basically take it and they age the whiskey and then they finish it in like some new oak barrels after that, age it for a little additional time, and it just gets this really, vanilla flavor to it. It's almost like dessert, almost like candy there, Ken. That's a good bourbon though. A little bit of oak to it, a little bit of age to it, but it's also got that really strong vanilla flavor. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so I don't know where this is. May not be a thing. Like it just may not be a thing we can do. Let's go back into the theme options and see if there's some options there. Header and footer. All right. Okay. Both menu. Category menu. Hey, now we're cooking with gas. Look at there. All right. Now I want both menus, but I want them in one row. So, let's see what this other one. Like, I'm wondering if I could use the. I don't know. All right. So we cooking with gas now. There we go. So I don't feel so stupid. If it's a theme option, I don't feel that bad not knowing where it was. All right. So here's what I'm thinking though. I'm wondering if I could. All right. So nav pages. This is an unordered list here. And then this is an LI. And then it's got an unordered list. Like theoretically, I could just restyle these and hide the shop all. But it's inefficient because it's just some code on the page that doesn't matter. Like theoretically, I could just style these to where it would show exactly like I want. But I'm going to have to do some custom coding to pull that off. So we're not going to go with that right now. What we're going to do is just go back to this header and footer. And we're going to just go with category for now. And then there we go. Now, how silly are we going to look with just 2 categories? We may fake some categories or something. I don't know. If I can get like an about us and those different things up there, I think that would be useful to have the other menu items up there. But I don't. Again, themes don't always work like you want them to. Worst case, I can come up here and hard code some or something in the theme file if I have to. It's not something that's going to change an awful lot. So let's look at the. How do I even get to my incognito window here? I got to go over here. Hold on. And well, I may have closed the incognito window. I don't see it. So new incognito window. Not on a Mac. Use the right keyboard shortcut and then paste this in. And did I not save? Must not save my menu choice here. And then I close my thing. Okay. Man, it's going downhill quick, isn't it? All right. So, category right there. Saved it. I need to publish it like this theme is publishing. Publish that sucker. Do it. Go back over to my other monitor here. Pull up my. All right. Now, do we have the right thing? We still. Okay. Right over here. Right over here. Maybe we're at the wrong preview. I don't know. There we go. We just had the wrong preview. Those preview links change as you save and publish things, and so you have to remember sometimes to find the most updated one. Woodford is candy. Woodford Double Oaked is candy in particular. I've got quite a few Woodfords on the shelf. I've got the very rare. I've got the batch proof that just came out this year. I haven't tried those yet. I'm going to. But I'm not a huge fan of Woodford. But I really like this Double Oak. But just regular Woodford, not a fan. This, yes, good stuff. Absolutely. All right, what we got? Looks like the chat's still kind of slow. All right, so now we've got a site. We've got a header problem there. You see how that's like really close to the header for some reason. It's the home page, so it's expecting there to be that image there. So I'm assuming that it will, it'll, once we put an image there, it'll have the padding that's needed. But like product detail page, like I'm good with this. This is fine. Some things we're going to come back and change later when we start doing some coding is we're probably going to move this above whatever this SKU nonsense is, or maybe move the SKU up here somewhere just to make this more efficient. Because what I want is I want that add to cart button and the options. Do we have one with options? Let's see what that looks like. All right, so we've got one with options here. I want that as high as possible. So really, we might move pricing over here to the right. We just want to make this layout as efficient as possible to move all of that stuff like add to cart and our options as high as we can possibly get it. But otherwise, like, this is pretty good. Like, there's not a lot to hate about this particular theme. I think we've identified most of the things I hate about it, mainly being the color and this menu. Otherwise, I think we chose pretty well. Like, it's simple. It's pretty straightforward. I think the tray slide out for the add to cart would be better. But I don't hate this either. Right? Most people will be buying one. You know, if most people end up buying one product, this is great. If they don't, we may do something with this pop-up that is not this, right? We may go to the tray. We may go to, you know, some sort of offer. I don't really know. We'll just have to figure that out. But we definitely want to change these button colors. All right, so this has got the accordion style drop down. So this one has a review. It has, you know, you see the stars are black stars instead of the yellow stars. So we want to change that. I don't know if I like the accordion as much as I like tabs, just because if you have a long description with a lot of information in it, you may have to scroll way down to see the reviews. Also, but you know, most people are going to be up here. They may see these, they may click on them, which it wasn't really easy to click on, but it opens it up. Make sure it did the opening on that. You have to click the one. So ideally, I would want to, you know, read the reviews, write a review. How many people just come to the site, are browsing around, see your product, and then just write a review? Nobody. So maybe this link is read the reviews or see reviews, because this is a page for people trying to buy this product. We want to cater this page to people who are trying to buy the product, not somebody who has already bought the product. So ideally, it would be about reading the reviews, not about writing one. And we would then have a strategy after they've purchased via email or text or whatever to incentivize them to try to write a review. You know, very, very rarely is somebody going to just come back to your site, browse around for a product they've already bought and say, I know I wasn't here for that, but man, they had this nice handy link here. I think I'll click it and write a review for them. And even then, do you know if they actually bought it? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe they bought it from you, maybe they didn't. So I don't think that's great user experience, or at least, it's not terrible user experience. It's just not useful to do it that way. Pour me a little bit more of this Woodford Double Oaked. Now that Ken's got me on the bourbon train this afternoon. See, I couldn't start the live stream like that. People be like, "You're drinking in the morning? What in the world?" All right, so I think that's it. I think we've got a site pulled together. We've got a lot of work to do on it. Anything, I'll give y'all like 5 more minutes. Is there anything in particular y'all want me to work on the site? Happy to do that while we're live streaming. I've obviously got to design. I've got to design the banners. I've got to start adding our products. Let me get some of our products. I'll start showing y'all some of the designs and see what y'all think. How about that? Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna get some of the products, and then we can kind of discuss them. So I gotta download the images. I wasn't prepared for this. Now, if you're not bourbon enthusiasts, these probably won't appeal to you, right? Like, what we're going for are the people who really are into bourbon, like people who really know it, that search for it, that hunt for it, that spend time in lines looking for it, like people who So a lot of this may be a little it may be a little high level. Like if you're not into bourbon at all, you may look at these and be like, what in the world? Like I don't get the shirt. And you may like the shirt or you may not like the shirt, but you may not necessarily get it, right? Because all of these have a meaning, and I'll kind of outline what those meanings are, but I'm just downloading as many of these shirts as I can right now. We've got a bunch of them that are being designed, and some of these will make it onto the site and some of them will not. So just because I show it to you, it may or may not make it up for sale. Although I would say the vast majority of those that have been provided, that have been designed thus far, will make it onto the site. Okay, so let me pull up. I just downloaded a bunch of them. Hopefully they went into the downloads folder. I will pull them up and I will share them with you. Okay. All right, so this is the horse collector. Now, we don't have the rights. We don't have the rights to use the logos of the manufacturer. Like I can't use Woodford Reserve's logo, but I can use their bottle shape, I believe. If it proves to be false, then none of these designs are going to be going very far. But I think I could use this bottle design and get away with it, as long as I don't use their actual logo mark that's on it. Now this design is Blanton's design. Now this is a UK bottle, so it's a little different, but this is Blanton's Gold. The Blanton's also has a lesser version just called Blanton's. And what's interesting about Blanton's is they have these horse stoppers. They've got this grenade shaped bottle. You know, they're really popular, and a lot of people love to try to find this. It's not a particularly hard to find bottle, but it's not an easy to find bottle either. So it can take some effort. These stoppers, there are 8 different stoppers. They start with the guy, like this is I don't know which one this is, but it starts like he's starting the race and it goes all the way through. And so the horse is a little different, the jockey's a little different, and they got a letter on them. So like this one, I think is the T, and they spell out Blanton's. And so a lot of people collect these stoppers and things. So we wanted our first shirt to be the horse collector, right? You're trying to buy and collect horses. So, you know, that's one. We've got Bourbon Hunter, which has a bottle of Weller Antique 107 on it. Bourbon hunting is a lot of people that are into bourbon do a lot of hunting. So you go to stores and you try to find bourbons and you do all these different things to try to acquire these hard to find bottles. I mean, this bottle came all the way from the UK. So you put a lot of effort into it. You're hunting for bourbon. We've got the small batch designs, which kind of look like the Elijah Craig bottles. This one on the left we probably won't go with that one. Using it as an A just doesn't, like we might get rid of the A insert on this one, and you can see kind of the A insert there. We might just get rid of the insert and leave the whole bottle. I think that would work. So that might make it into production in that regard. Really like this one, the bottle turned on its side. If I can, well, I was able to scroll all the way back out. Okay. Then the barrel proof designs here. This left one didn't really like it, but this one looks like the logo from an old Elijah Craig barrel proof bottle. Single barrel, these are just kind of unique designs here. Not a huge fan of that one. Like this one a lot. This one is kind of interesting. That comes from a bottle. And then this one being another just kind of unique design there we'll go with. These look like E.H. Taylor labels, like the whiskey label for E.H. Taylor. And they use the bottle and bond in the small batch and stuff. Again, colors we're still kind of working on. This will be a customizable one. And so for those that don't hunt bourbon, a lot of bourbons have store picks. And a store pick is basically like a store buys the entire barrel, has it bottled for them, and then sells that. Make sure I'm in my thing here. So it'll have this decal that is a store pick decal that looks like what you see on your screen there. And that decal, you're going to be able to customize it with your own, like it's your own store pick. I think that could be a really good seller. Birthday bourbon, like there's a bottle on the shelf behind me here that is Old Forester birthday bourbon. Again, I don't like the colors on this one, but we'll work on that. Elijah Craig 18, which is a really nice bottle. A couple of designs on that. We've got the Weller 12 design and the Weller Special Reserve, and then we're working on a bunch more. So we've got a ton of designs kind of in production, being designed, being created. I've got some samples ordered on some of them to figure out what shirts we're going to print them on, and then. I mean, once legal's done, which I'm hoping is this week, early next week, and we've got the tax IDs and everything, the samples are coming in this week. Again, for those that weren't here earlier, we've ordered shirt samples. I just threw this eCommerce Aholic logo on there because we didn't have shirt designs done at that point. So we ordered some samples, but I wasn't real happy with them. So we got some tank samples and some different, just different materials, different shirt brands. Didn't really like them. So we've got a second round of those coming in. We had some signs printed. Just like metal signs. These are really expensive, so I don't think we'll do those. I need like a cheap metal sign. You'd be able to do a lot of these designs. So you wanted a, like Gamble's Bar or something like that that's customizable that you can hang in your bar. But this is, I mean, it's really well made. I think it's aluminum, it looks like, or, it could be thin steel, but it's, it's fairly substantial and really expensive. So I just don't think I could have any margins on that. So, maybe I'll hook up with Ken and we'll drop ship some bourbon flavored candy as well. We'll see. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's about all I had to do or all I had to talk about. Anything else in particular? Any questions, any thoughts? Let me know. Happy to stay on and stream. I had the whole afternoon booked. I didn't know how long it would take to get through this, but we've kind of run up against a wall before I need to start breaking out Photoshop and doing some graphic design. And honestly, y'all don't want me to do that. Like, y'all don't want me to break that out and do that right now because that could get really sloppy. I'm a mess. I'm okay in Photoshop, but if I hand it off to anybody, it's not good because the layers are not gonna be named, they're not gonna be organized, they're gonna be all over the place. Y'all don't want to see me. There are much better people to watch on YouTube doing Photoshop, I'm sure. All right, looks like the chat has kind of died down. Everything's kind of slow. All right, well, I appreciate y'all coming to the live stream. We're making a little progress. Again, on the videos, we've done the overview, we've done the branding, picking the niche. The video dropped yesterday around the branding. Tomorrow, there's a video coming out where we go over the platform selection, which I think I've spoiled a little bit with BigCommerce, but we are going to talk about print on demand and why we made that BigCommerce choice for this particular site. And then Tuesday, we've got a video coming out where we're talking about the shirt designs, which I've showed you some of those, but we just kind of, we worked through the process of finding a designer. I didn't know how long it would take to like, design is one of those things that was a big unknown for me. That was one of those things that stressed me out the most because I'm an okay designer. I'm not a great designer, but I don't have time to design even okay designs, and okay designs wouldn't have been good enough. So we went to Upwork, we found a designer, we tried several out, and it took a little effort and a little back and forth, but I think we found, someone that really has the style we're looking for and the capabilities. And so that's a big hurdle overcome for me already. That was one of those, I'm like, I have no clue about what it's going to take to find someone that can take my ideas. I've got about 50 shirt ideas right now cataloged. Who can take those ideas and expand upon them and make them better and do more with them? Because that's what's important when you're hiring team members for anything, any business, is when you hire someone, you don't want someone that can just do what you can do and to take that off your hands. You want someone who can take it and add their own thing to it and make it better, because that's what allows you to accelerate your business. And so finding someone that's just okay or can do the job wasn't what we wanted. I mean, it might have got us by to get selling, but we were able to find someone that we think really adds to our process, that really brings ideas to the table. that really makes our designs even better. So I don't have to spend a lot of time fleshing them out. I just say, here's kind of what I had in mind. Here's, the bottles we're kind of looking to mimic, and go about it. And then they come back with 2 or 3 designs that have thus far been incredible. So that's good. That's something I was worried about. I mean, the next thing, obviously building the site, we can handle. I mean, I've got some developers I could pull in if I really get stuck on something, but I'm trying to keep it simple, so I don't expect to get stuck. But we're going to build the site. The next big thing is just going to be finding the market fit, right? Like getting into Facebook, running the ads. I'm not an ads guy. I've never really dealt with ads too much. We've got the ads to figure out. That's going to be the next big hurdle. And then after that, we've got to launch the social channels. And so, like, I understand YouTube pretty good, and we're going to do some stuff on YouTube. But we really want to go hard and heavy into TikTok as well. But it's not the strategy so much as the execution, as the just doing it, like just having time to create more content, because I barely have enough time to do this content with regularity. But that's one of the great things about this, is that building this business has so many benefits for us, from a business perspective, from a learning perspective, for me to know more, to help you to create content. And it forces me I have to continue to progress the business to be able to generate the videos. And so it's kind of forcing these things to be done. Whereas if this were something I were doing as a side hustle, sometimes it might get backburnered for me to do my actual job. But this is part of the job now. So it's made it a little easier to keep up, to keep pace, to keep going, to do all the things I need to do to keep bringing new content and to build a business. All right. Anything else? Nobody else? All right. Well, I guess I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to probably have several of these random live streams as we go. Just, again, trying to share as much of this process of building this business as I possibly can. If anybody has any questions, just ping me on Twitter. That's usually the best place to find me, or leave it in the comments of this video, and we'll catch up with y'all later.